Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Lauren, you may also call me Lo, and today I'm explaining how to navigate NetGalley. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you're doing well, and let's get on into it. NetGalley is a website where you can request advanced reader copies or ARCs of books before the release date in exchange for an honest review of the book. NetGalley is a way to get books out to reviewers before the release date so that there are reviews on Goodreads and other platforms, and there's generally buzz before the book actually is released to the public. Sometimes the ARCs are final versions, but the reason that they're called advanced reader copies is because sometimes they do change slightly before they are actually released to the public. So you may not be getting a polished, finalized copy of the book. In order to request an ARC, you have to make a profile on NetGalley's website. It's not super in-depth. They mostly just want your name, your picture, short bio, and the categories of books that you're interested in. This is my bio in case it's helpful to anybody. I don't think it needs to be anything super elaborate. Mine is, as you can see, very, very short. I want to emphasize that you don't need a big following to request books on NetGalley and be approved for ARCs. That is a common misconception that I hear and a misconception that I had. So when I started on NetGalley, it was in January of 2022. I had just started my BookTube channel, and I had less than 50 subscribers, and I also had about 100 friends, a little bit over 100 friends on Goodreads. And those are the two platforms that I listed as my platforms that I would be reviewing on. So while I don't have any evidence to back this up, I don't think you need anything more than a Goodreads account that reviews publicly. Once your profile is created, you can go to the dashboard on NetGalley's website and start requesting books that you'd like to review. When I first created my account and I had that very, very small platform on both Goodreads and BookTube, I went right to the category that says most requested books and requested books there because I didn't think I had a good chance of getting anything at all. So I figured I'd just try to get the ones that I really wanted that were going to be more competitive and were probably going to go to people with bigger platforms. To my surprise, I was actually approved for 3 books right off the bat, and I got 2 more approvals later on. At this point in my NetGalley journey, I have been approved for 5 books and I have reviewed 4 of those so far. Once you've requested a book, you pretty much just wait. I found that the publishers are pretty inconsistent. Sometimes I get approved right away. Sometimes it takes several weeks or months to get approved. Sometimes I get approved before the release date. And once I've gotten approved after the release date. Once you're approved for a book, NetGalley will send you an email. I don't know if that's a setting I have or just how it works, but I've been getting emails every time I'm approved for a book. When I'm denied a book, I don't get anything, but they're listed on my profile. So on your profile, you can see which requests are still pending, which ones you were approved for, and which ones were denied. There used to not be an option to withdraw a pending request. Now there is, which is great, and I will explain why. So you're supposed to read the books that you were approved for. Obviously, they don't want to give people books that they're not reading because they have a limited amount of ARCs they can give out through this platform. So when you do get approved for a book, you commit to reading it and reviewing it on or near the release date. In addition to that, it's recommended that you keep your ratio at 80% or better, meaning that you've read and reviewed 80% of the books that have been given to you. So right now I've been approved for 5 books. I've read 4 of those books and reviewed them, and so my ratio is at 80% exactly. If your ratio is lower than that, it gives publishers a reason to not give you the book because it shows that you have received books that you haven't reviewed, or at least more than 20% of the books that you've received you haven't reviewed. So it makes you look like a less reliable person to give an ARC to. So NetGalley used to become pretty overwhelming for people when they would request a lot of books and they'd get approved for a lot of books and their ratio is just tanking. Because as you get approved for books, your ratio automatically goes down. You used to not be able to remove those pending requests when you were overwhelmed or when you had been approved for a lot of books in a row, which created some stress for some people. So now you can remove pending requests, which I think is really helpful, and I've definitely used that tool because you can get a little bit heavy-handed with the requests right when you start. Once you get approved for a book, there are several ways that you can read it, but it's always an ebook or an audiobook. Essentially, you can go on the NetGalley website and download the book as a PDF. You can download the NetGalley app on your phone or iPad or other device. And you can also download the book to your Kindle app. So there are several kind of ways to actually get your hands on this book. I personally use the NetGalley app on my iPad to read NetGalley ARCs. The app isn't like a mobile version of the full NetGalley website. The app is just kind of a place where the books that you're approved for goes so that you can read them. So as you can see, my NetGalley app just looks like all the books I've been approved for, and then you can download them from there. There is an expiration date once you download it, and I personally haven't let any books expire, so I can't really tell you what happens when they expire, but from what I've researched, it looks like you can just re-download it when the book expires. Once you finish your ARC, you can submit a written review on their website, which is a requirement, and then you can review it on whatever other platforms you want. There is an option to write your review in NetGalley and then export that to Goodreads if that's a platform that you're using. I tend to review the book on Goodreads and then I just copy that review into NetGalley because I like to add a note at the bottom of my NetGalley review letting them know when I plan to review the book on my YouTube channel. Generally, the format that I use for my Goodreads reviews and NetGalley reviews is that I give kind of my initial first thoughts, then I summarize the book, and then I give kind of a more in-depth analysis of what I liked, what I didn't like, and generally what I thought of the book. If you'd like to see an example of one of my reviews, you can go ahead and go down to my description and click on my Goodreads profile. If you go to my profile and just click on the bookshelf called ARCs, you can see all the ARCs that I've received and also all of the ARCs that I've reviewed. Those are verbatim the reviews that I've posted on NetGalley, except for that note at the bottom where I write when I plan to review the book on my YouTube channel. Once you submit your review, your ratio automatically goes up. This hasn't happened to me, but there is one more thing that I'd like to mention. You can get auto approvals from publishers. If you review enough of their books to their satisfaction, they can auto approve you as a reviewer for their books, and then you don't have to go through the process of waiting to get approved for books. I have no idea how long it takes or how many reviews you'd need to do to get to the point where you get auto approvals, but it seemed like something worth mentioning. So there you have it. That is my kind of beginner's guide to NetGalley. If you have any additional questions about how to use it, please just leave a comment down below. I reply to all of my comments. If you're still here, thank you so much for being here. I always really appreciate it. If you're new and haven't liked this video and haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider doing so. I come out with a bookish video once a week, every Sunday, and sometimes more often if I can pull it off. So again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.